Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. What's so cool now is we got a baller webcam, and you can see some of my stuff over there. So, got a baller webcam. This is the setup that we're rocking for the apartments. Now that I'm in college, this is the sort of setup that we've got. Kind of the best that I got there. Overlay webcam, I'm going to really quickly mute that shit and go to properties and just make sure that we got the sim, we got my microphone, advanced audio properties real quick. Just gonna make sure that the overlay webcam is muted and it's not on any tracks, pretty much. Good. That's good. I'm going to disable the preview here. Pop back open. So how about that? We're in Microsoft Flight Sim. We do have that cold front, low pressure system in this area, so we do have really shitty weather. Nonetheless, let's open up the OFP, get this in here. Lovely, come up top. Battery 1. Battery 2. AP battery. External A. And B. Try getting some of this shit in here. We'll leave the annunciator lights to dim, kind of in that nighttime. I don't really need a lot of this stuff. We'll leave this alone, get this on, that's fine. Adheres to nav. Oh, and ever since my last stream, anywho, we are officially a commercial pilot. So, pretty sweet. Went out with the boys on Wednesday to celebrate. That went pretty good. You get this bright fucking light from these things, so that's kind of just blaring in here. But get some lights going. Pretty nice route for today. We're in inches of mercury. And I got the VHF on, and that's good. And floodlight, I got a little bit of that going, a little bit of pedestal floodlight going. Decent amount of lights in here. I think that'll suffice. So due to the nature of this stream, what we're gonna do is we're gonna not take the full fucking hour and some bullshit to fuel up. We're gonna do an instant fuel and load and stuff like that. I'm not too worried about some, ultra realism hour long fucking. I could care less, honestly. Okay. They did do some bug fixes, and we can see if they actually did or not, but with the systems of this, we're not really gonna worry too much. 27 center is actually what they're using in real life, so we'll go ahead and insert that. Direct or radar vectors to radar. I'm actually, so all that really matters is if we go down here, the transition point DICSAT. Right, if we're taking, let's say, DICSAT 1 Delta, if you load the arrival chart, I'll pin that. We're just going to take what we're expecting. So above flight level 270, below flight level 340, in between there. What I will do, and I think it's Munich where it has like a apparently their arrivals are like a lost comms procedure or some shit like that. So let me see what they actually say. Clearance for a star with level and or speed restrictions of lateral and vertical part, cleared arrival, descend via. Adherence to waypoint restrictions mandatory after descend via. Do not descend below the, yeah, okay, so I guess it's just, okay. We'll put above 270 in here, so 270, put a plus sign and put that there. If I look in here, okay, so it's not that. I think it's 270 and then the plus after it. Or maybe it's the plus and then 270. Yeah, okay, so plus flight level 270. So that's in. Flight plan's in. We'll put in 370 in the FCU. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the plan mode, and we're also going to hit the magical beep. That's what I was saying. We have a low pressure system here, and that altimeter setting is so fucking low. It's actually crazy. I'm on the south part of here, still influenced by that pressure system and that weather system, so I can still definitely feel all of that, and it's definitely a little, you know, but see how that goes. What we'll do now, I'm also going to just go ahead and uncage the standby attitude indicator. We're just going to step through this. So vectors to Rainer, that's fine. The rest of this looks fine. If you actually want to just put this in 320, it makes it easier to see if there's any discounts. There's a transition point above 270, so it'll give me a pretty decent descent path to get there. Move all of this down, move that there. That's fine. See what this has to say. Pack, autopilot, cat 2, auto throttle, that's fine. Wind, we'll just do a quick little wind request, make sure it's on the most up-to-date wind information. If you look here at our brake accumulator pressure, you can see we actually don't have enough brake accumulator pressure here, so we'll do a little test on that, and what we'll also do is we'll actually get hydraulics to pressurize that. This is now our most up-to-date wind, so that's looking good. I'll come down here. For the purpose of this flight, I could give a shit about, you know, doing all that crap, so we're gonna import all, and then we're just gonna hit instant load. I, again, could care less. So now that everything's instantly loaded, I'll come up here, get you on, make sure this is on auto. This little thing actually will get the dome nice and bright. I don't need it to be that bright. I mean, another cool thing you can do, go to the ground equipment. You have dirt weathering, this and that. Cabin lighting, full blast, please. Now what I want to do is we have this where we can put all that information in. I think there was going to be one thing that I wanted to do. Can't remember off the top of my head. Lovely. But you have this, and I think, aha, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. Was get this going. That way, oh shit. That way we can actually, like, do this, and I think there you can, like, position it, maybe. It's just that. Fuck. Position. I guess you can't position it. Whatever. Still, this looks nice. So, hydraulics. That's what I wanted to do. First, what we'll do is we'll get our fuel pumps on. We'll start up our APU here in just a moment, but first I want to pressurize our hydraulics, and I think it is our blue electric standby pump that will pressurize that. If we hit on the hydraulic page, should be the blue. I think it's the blue hydraulics in the 346. Hit this on, and here we get some hydraulic pressure. Aha, yes it is. It is that, because you can see we have blue hydraulic pressure and brake accumulator pressure. Now, I'm going to press on my physical, holy fuck. Okay. Press on my physical brakes. And I don't know why it does that when I just, okay. Pushing on the brakes. Okay. Now watch this. If I go ahead and come down here and I release the parking brake, for example, we still have the chock set, so we're not going to move. If I start pumping the brakes, well, I guess what we'll do is we have that pressurized, so let me take this out. We're going to have this on, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this off now that we have brake accumulator pressure. So you're going to see this pressure is going to come down. So every time I actually press on the brakes, this accumulator pressure should actually decrease. But anywho, we'll leave that alone. We have brake accumulator pressure, parking brake set. So chocks come off, and what we'll do now is we'll start up the APU. APU master switch can come on. Charts 27 center. We'll load up the airport chart, airport info. 27 center is over here. International taxi lane is here. We'll do a so we'll push back tail to the right, facing west. It's fine. Takeoff performance sync FMGS. That's gonna get our weights. Well, that's actually 2097. What I'm gonna do is real quick. Now that that's done, have this get this, have this get this. That'll get all of this. That's looking good, and it'll fill this out, and there you go. And we'll leave this on the perf page. Now we'll go to takeoff performance, sync FMGS. It says our takeoff weight is that. That seems about right. 209.17. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and the air conditioner on, anti-ice force toggle off, all flaps optimum. That's good. And then I've looked down here, flap is open. I'll start up the APU. And that's crazy. Those are pretty low V speeds. Flaps 4.4 up is also kind of crazy. But kind of wish the uplink. I think there's a send to FMGC. Hit the charts button, and here you go. You can actually review that you have the right stuff and hit confirm, and it'll actually put all this stuff in for you. With all of that done, flight directors can come on, and this will go into the climb mode that's armed, nav mode that's armed. We can put runway heading. That is what it is. APU is still firing up though. This airplane is just so nostalgic to me. I remember flying at the 340 all the freaking time as a little kid, and yeah, just tons of memories with this. Here's a little trick for going outside. Of course, you can come back inside, but once you come back inside, you can't go back outside. So that's a little thing there, but there you go. I like this. I think it's nice during the day, some stuff like that. I do want to actually load up Atmos though, core. We'll let that run. It'll look a little bit nicer. Have you on the flight plan page. APU is available. What we'll do here is APU bleed, actual power. I'll just drop that out. And come down here, prepare for pushback and departure. There we go. Ready for pushback and departure. How about that? How about that? How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking from the flight deck. Here we're about to push back here. If you please give your undivided attention to the flight attendants, that would be much appreciated. We're flying Lufthansa flight 443. Alright, here we go. And this looks good. Predictive wind shear on ground controls. Was that SPRS? Fine. I'm gonna move this to the 1 after we're done with the pushback, all that stuff. This is gonna ask for us the direction we want to face anything that's west. Facing west, tail rights. This is ideally what we want to do. Put up this again. Park brake coming off. Engine start to the engine start page. All TARA. Auto. Oh, and our beacon needs to come on. What's cool about this is if you can click it, it fully extends the shade, I think. Yeah. Alright, so we'll start up engine number 3 here. Let's monitor. There we go. It's got pressure. Here's our N2s on the rise. And there's 7% N2. I'm going to start up engine number 1. Leave these two on.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention please for the safety demonstration. Even if you're a frequent flyer, we kindly ask that you watch and listen as we go over the important safety features of this aircraft.
Alright, engine number 3 is available. Engine number 1 here is going to be available. Just a second here. I'm going to start up this chrono. Looking good. This is what the dome light looks like. I mean, you can see more stuff in the cockpit, but it's on dim. This is not on bright. Kind of really lightens up that cockpit, but don't need that right now. Have that off. Yeah, those lights off. Turn off the lights. Sorry. Was max brake pressure 1000 psi? Yeah, cause I fucking yeah, that's fine. See that pumps back up. Alright. No, fuck me. Oh, fuck me. God damn it. Hold on. I'll just restart it. Basically, I don't want it to fuck me and then pull me back there, so I'm just gonna restart that, and then we'll be good to go here. We'll get the weather radar. I'm not even gonna mess with all that bullshit. Cool. This is done. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. All right. Start up engine number 4 and engine number 2 here. And engine number 2. Lovely. All right. For both of those to come in, max, arm. I'll wait for that, and then I'll drop the flaps. Flaps 1 departure today. Right engine looks good. Looking good on the brake. Left engine number 2 is coming up. Getting more pressure. Looks like fuel's flowing in. Looks good over there. Yep, I know. Avail. This should say avail here in a minute. Yep, good. go to flight controls. We're gonna go up 4.4 units. Up, yeah. So we really got to drag this trim wheel. And this is 4. This is about 4.4. And then we'll bring this mode selector to norm. I'll get the APU off. Nose on. This on. And we're gonna go ahead and drop the flap 1 degree here. Come off the parking brake. Takeoff config. Takeoff is good. Alright, charting that taxi out. There's your tiller. We're going to add in just a little bit of thrust. It's also wet floor here. A little bit of thrust, break that initial friction off the floor. Okay, I might need a little bit more juice. My N1, let's move it up to about here. Once we get moving, it'll be easier. But 32% is fine. Pretty heavy, not super heavy though. I thought you shit. Definitely looks better with the rain through the window. Something like this. I think that looks pretty sleek. God, I'm so tired. It's like 12 o'clock. We should be at like around 9 o'clock. Should be able to get the landing in, so. Breaking that friction kind of... Oh, we got 3 people watching. How about that? How about that? Welcome aboard, everybody. Flying, yes, we're gonna join this little taxi line here. What the fuck is this guy looking at? That's a kind of... always thought that was kind of interesting. Alright, power off. Don't need you. I have so much thrust right now. Hello, hello, Jarrell Plays. Welcome aboard, welcome aboard. I've just been so tired. I had my check ride Wednesday, and I was up early every day prior to that. I was up early for work the following day, so I'm definitely feeling a little cooked right now. But yeah, you got that low pressure system pummeling through the Chicagoland area right now. Okay, and then we're going to join left at Alpha 15. This is Alpha 19. Should be up-to-date scenery, so should have at least that. God, I love the A340-300. Alpha 20, yeah, that's definitely not right, so we'll just make a left here. Join Bravo. we'll take this all the way to 27 center. How do you like the A340 Inibuilds? I like it. It's a fun long hauler to take from point A to point B. There was a bug that was driving me nuts when I first got it. I haven't tested it out to see if that bug still exists, but if you load the arrival and you don't load the approach, there's a bug with the distance calculation from the last fix that you're at to the destination, and that distance that it bugs out on is it takes your direct to distance, basically. That was the most frustrating bug that I've encountered in this aircraft. I don't know if that still exists or not, but that was a very frustrating bug. Other than that, not a whole lot. I think their systems is lacking a little bit. Just overall, like, you'll notice that when you're going through the McDo pages, you'll see some stuff that's missing that other developers have implemented. Even Tolus is implemented. So there's definitely things that are lacking there. Same thing with like takeoff calculations. It's just not complete, but for the price, it's a little pricey, but it's not terrible. It's definitely a fun little long hauler, and 340-300 has been my favorite aircraft. Well, actually, once we take off, I'm going to show you the 340-300 aircraft that I have. The Phoenix models one. It's my favorite aircraft of all time, but yeah, it's not bad. I mean, if you have some extra cash lying around, get it. Here's what I would say about this aircraft is, if you don't have a personal liking towards the 340, you're probably better off getting like the 777 or the A350 or something like that. But if you really love the A340, specifically the 300, definitely it's a good bet. And also, if you already have a long haul and you want to break up the monotony with something, this is a great option as well. So that's my 2 cents on it. I know the flight sim community has lost their goddamn minds about this, and it's never really that deep. So like, you know, I've got a good amount. I'm a commercial pilot, instrument rating, and I like to use the sims for fun. I think it's a fun little thing to relax on. So I don't think you need to get your panties up in a twist for, you know, which virtual plane flies the closest to your real life thing. I never understood that, but it is what it is, right? So yeah, we need some more power. We need to make this turn. We're like stuck. So let's get some more power going. I'm at like 40% N1 right now. I'm making this left-hand turn. But yeah, we're gonna join right up here to... But they're actually, I think right now they're departing Tango Tango. But we'll find out here. I am going to power off the FB though. For the flight, here's the ILS critical line right here. Do you use VATSIM? I do. I mainly like to use VATSIM on short IFR, like general aviation flights. I think it's so much fun for that. The big tube airliners, not really. I think this stuff I like to just kind of fly on my own. Point A, point B, not really have to worry about them. And plus with CPDLC and all of that, not a whole lot going on. So okay, so coming up to the whole short line here, what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is open up OBS, and I'm going to take out my overlay. That frees up some screen real estate. We'll turn on the landing light, turn on the nose light, turn on the strobe light, turn on the wing light. Packs on for this takeoff here. So I'm going to bring that down. Turning on a 27 center. Line up, and I'm going to set Take off power and get the fuck out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, here we go. 2.7 center on the paint. Just lining up right now. Alright, nose wheel straightened out. Man flex, SRS climb, runway nav. Here we go. Alright, engine params green, airspeed's live. Alright. Ease some of that back pressure as we come up to 100. Windshield, do a little bit of left aileron action. Ease up on that left aileron control. Alright, approaching our V1 speed here.
V1.
Alright, a little rotate action. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Alright. Positive rate of climb, gears coming up. Looking good. We're going to keep runway heading for a little bit here. We'll vector ourselves. We'll make a right turn heading. Zero 20. Open climb heading. That's fine. Pitch you down. Throttle climb. Have the crossbar set. Autopilot 1. That looks beautiful. And flaps coming up. Alright. Oh. This retracted. Our dome lights. Yeah. Probably reduce the brightness of this a little bit. Alright, and we'll say 0.25, and then we'll go, direct, Rainer. And then radial, that's fine, I'll hit direct 2. And that's fine. This is still an open climb. I want it to be a managed climb. That's managed climb. And in the soup, I'll get my nose light off here. Then we'll get our other light off here in a moment. Our wing light off once we're above the clouds. Rest to follow. Alright, while that's going on, I'll bring the overlay back. I'm going to show you guys my A340. I'll be right back. Alright, holy shit, my hair looks like... Hair looked like garbage. Here we go. See if I can show it to you. No, it's not wanting to focus, but... Phoenix models A340-300. Beautiful, beautiful, model here with your CFM engines. DAIGZ. So I'm not even sure if that's the same whatever you call it, same thing here. Let me zoom to toolbar. I know I can adjust this accordingly. Auto framing, desk view, autofocus. I have this on. See if manual focus will work for this. There we go. Here's the, or even what I could do. Yeah, I'll just keep it like this. Lufthansa. It's pretty sweet. So, pretty sweet. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put this up. I am back. We'll get that open up again. Here looks a little bit like a mess with the thing on, but alright, passing through 10,000. There we go. So from here, not much left to do. I'm gonna go there we go. Some nice dim lit cabin. Alright, one last thing I want to do here is make sure that the flight altitudes make sense. Nothing crazy. 390, 410, and there's nothing above that. There's not. So, step altitudes 390, 410, nothing crazy after that. Lovely. So, that's all for that. I will go ahead and catch you guys in the next one. We're going to stream the landing, so I will see you guys in about 8 hours or so for the landing. Adios. Juice.